Catch a Vibe with Big S, only on Pulse 95.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and love, and welcome to another episode of Catch a Vibe. It is actually our 6th episode, and like I said earlier, and always every single week, I want to make it a point to count every single episode, because every single episode has a different artist, a different human, a different journey, a different songwriting process. And, you know, shout out to all of you guys, and thank you for the love and support you've been showing Catch a Vibe, which is Pulse's first music-dedicated radio show. It's a big deal, and I'm really, really honored to be able to cover some of the musicians in the UAE and, of course, regionally. So proud to tell their stories, to tell their, you know, to show they're human, not only coming into the studio to perform and sing and leave. No, I want to know how they think, how they write, and what are the challenges they face, and what inspires them, and all these, you know, great things. And today, actually, believe it or not, a young artist inspired me so much. Shout out to NM1 or 19. I was in the Mother of the Nation festival, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest festival in the UAE. And oh my God, I was walking in the tunnel. That's the story. I was like, what? What is that? What is that? What is that voice? And 19 from NM1 told me, that's Suzanne. I'm like, Suzanne? Tell me more about her. And then I just had to listen to her. And then I really got immersed about how confident she is and how beautiful her voice is. And she took me on a journey on that spot in the tunnel. So we're going to say Assalamu alaikum, Suzan Sadek.
Alaikum salam. Hi, thank you for having me.
Bless you, my sister.
I remember that night as well. It was my first day of MOTN.
Was it?
Yeah. And I was nervous. I don't know why. I feel like at a certain point you lose nerves at some point. But that night I was like, oh my God, it's my first night. And I remember your energy was great. It was a very, very nice crowd.
Mashallah alayki. We were in the tunnel, and you know, you were. What song you were singing? It was an Adele record?
Yeah, I think it was Never Mind. What is it? Someone Like You.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm thankful for your time. God bless you. I want to know what sparked getting into music for you. Was it a certain song? Was it a certain, you know, artist that made you, okay, you know what? I'm gonna grab the guitar and start singing, or I want to get into singing in the first place?
It's kind of cheesy, but I just remember when I was super young, my parents used to always say, oh, Suzanne can sing. And I would like take the I don't know how to play a ukulele at that point, or a guitar, and I just like make up songs. I'd sing a lot. And my family was like, oh yes, she has a beautiful voice. I did not have a beautiful voice. I would listen, I'd be like, this is what you saw. This is the talent. But I really think I just never stopped, because they told me that I had a good voice, and I just was like, oh, I must continue learning.
Do you remember the first tunes you're singing? Of course, you're from Egypt. Dunya, shout out to Egypt.
Yeah, shout out.
Of course, as always. But did you ever do like Arabic records, or was it always English?
Unfortunately, it was always English.
Okay.
Now I'm trying to. No, because I really want to, like, now I'm listening to more Arabic, and I because I also realized that a lot of the sounds I hear in my head are Arabic, even though I listened to Western music most of the time growing up. So now I'm trying to trying to learn how to produce in Arabic, because I've just been so English.
I mean, people talk about it. It's tough, because you want makharaj al-huruf. Now, how to say that in English? How the letters are pronounced in Arabic and all that. It needs to be. So my advice is take your time with it.
Yeah.
Don't pressure yourself. I know the society, the world might pressure you because you're from Egypt and you're from, you know, Arab. Take your time with that.
Yeah.
But was there a certain kind of artist that you kind of looked up to back then, or like inspired you to get into, like, who you were listening to back then?
So when I was like 10, I think my favorites weirdly were Adele.
Wow.
I don't know why. I was just like, yes, Adele is she's my favorite person to sing. I sang a lot of Bruno and Adele, and I feel like that's pretty much all I remember growing up, is I'd sing those two. And then I'd sing, like, you know, the popular people back then were like, I mean, I don't know if they're still pop. I used to listen to Kelly Clarkson, like all the just like the divas, you know, like the strong voice, like belters.
Yeah.
And I don't know why, like, I was singing that at age 12. Again, I personally would listen to the videos and be like, this is horrible, this is trash. But everyone would be like, you're so talented, like, sing more.
You know, it comes in, obviously, when you're first starting, you're going to have the close family and maybe family friends listening to you. And I think that's, okay. What does, I mean, it's a very, very tough question, but it might be simple as well. What does like singing or music mean to you as Suzanne? What do you, because when I hear you, and I've seen you perform once, and I seen you like always, like you get immersed, you go also somewhere. Is that right?
It's so true. I feel like I've always been an expressive person, and it's hard to be expressive while being ambiguous for me. So I went to, like, I studied an art curriculum, so I went to liberal arts school, so like I also learned how to kind of dissect art a lot, or theorize it.
Wow.
And so I think ambiguity in art was really interesting to me as a culture that we're kind of censored.
Correct.
Just by like, you know, around family, around friends, we're always just kind of like manipulating situations to like please everyone.
Wow.
But when it came to art, I could just, like, my lyrics don't matter. It's just how I'm singing and what I'm feeling, and I'm speaking a language that people are like they're receiving something, but they don't know what they're receiving. It's just like a connection with the audience. It's like a language that no one can like dissect or interpret, because it's just like up to everyone to like listen to what they want to hear, and I think that was so beautiful to me.
Wow, she's dropping jewels already. You know, she's already dropping jewels. That's beautiful what you said.
Thank you.
When did the guitar come in your life?
The guitar was a story. I was like 15, and I begged my dad, hands and knees. I was like, please. I just want. There was like this cheap, not even second hand. It was like a third hand, fourth hand guitar.
Okay.
Like it had like scratches. It was like bust up from the front and the back, and it was 100 dirhams.
Okay.
And I was like, please, blah blah. And he was like, you're gonna get bored of it. And I was like, well, it's just 100 dirhams, like. So he bought it for me.
Okay.
And then I was just like self-taught. And the thing is, I was what, like 15?
Do you still
14?
have that guitar?
I do not.
Okay.
I gave it fifth hand to someone else. Maybe they need it for like,
Yeah.
but I gave it for free. You know, you're paying it forward.
Yeah, gotcha.
And then I got this guitar when I was 17 for my birthday. And then the thing is, I taught myself, and I stopped learning at some point, just because I was like, I just need chords to back me up.
Okay.
And then I wish I feel like there's so much to learn the guitar, but I just stopped at some point. I don't know why. I think it was like technology, and technology is really fun to learn. You're like, yes, MIDI and stuff, and you start playing with like Logic and.
But shout out to you for knowing that, because you know where you at, and you know what's your capabilities at guitar. I want to shout out your father, because he was there, and God bless him. He was like taking videos of you, and which is really nice. So at 17, you got the guitar.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you like khalas want to take that step and start performing? Because you're performing, mashallah, now around the UAE. When was that? When did you take that step? Because you know you could sing in your bedroom, or you could sing in your room, or in the house. When was that step? Do you remember the first ever performance live?
Yeah, actually, I do. I was 11, and it was in the National Theatre in Abu Dhabi.
You were what?
I was 11. Yeah.
Mashallah.
I danced too. I don't know what I was doing.
Are there footage of that?
I think there is, but I feel like it's hidden in the depths of like the blackmail zone. I really hope no one ever finds it.
Bless.
But yeah, I was 11. I realized at that point I was like, I don't think I have I have like nerves, but I don't think I have like the fright of like.
Wow.
Which is interesting for me, because I'm like scared of a lot. I don't like planes. I don't like heights. But you put me on a stage, I'm like, yeah, sure. Great. So fun. Yeah. And then I remember I was 11 and 13, and then any stage I could grab onto.
The first performance you ever did was you were 11.
Yeah.
What did you like?
I sang.
For how long?
No, it was just one song.
Oh, okay, one
song.
song.
It was like in a school talent show. It was just in front of my whole school.
Okay.
And you know the song that's like, I throw my hands up in the air.
Oh, yeah.
I sang it and I danced, and it was an inexperience. I hope no one recalls that.
Wow.
Yeah. Fun times.
That is really cool. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now.
Oh my God.
We want to play a record.
Yeah.
Any record that you say, we'll play it on the radio, as long as it's clean, of course.
Okay.
What's your favorite? Like, what's one of your favorite records? Like, what do you want to hear right now? I know it's a tough question.
No, it is a tough question. I have a top 3, I think.
Nice. Give
but
me
I
one
don't
of
know
them.
if they're censored. I know, like, I like How to Love Lil Wayne. I don't know why.
How to Love Lil Wayne.
But it's not clean. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think it is.
We need to figure that out. Okay.
Yeah. Or
give me an Adele record.
an Adele record. My favorite Adele is probably All I Ask to sing.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll definitely play that.
Okay.
We're going to play that. We're going to be right back. We want to hear Suzanne sing, and I'm going to ask her a few more questions. But I just want to say I'm very proud of you. I'm a fan of what you could become, because I can't wait to hear the original music, and we are about to hear some original music. She's been taking the UAE kind of by storm, in my opinion, performing in a lot of places, and every single time someone I know sees her perform, they message me like, "Oh, do you know Suzanne?" I'm like,
Actually, I didn't know that.
because you know, like,
so cute.
because I'm a bit loud about supporting, you know, our scene. So every time somebody sees you, and that I know them, bro, you gotta see Suzanne. I'm like, okay.
That's so sweet.
So you make an impact. You make an impact on people real quick. And if you don't believe me, like, believe me. We're gonna be right back, right after Adele, right here. Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
All right, we are back right here. Catch a Vibe, Big Hass, Suzan Sadek, an incredible singer-songwriter from Egypt, based right here in the UAE. Mashallah, she was able to perform in a lot of places. And you know, with us, with Catch a Vibe, it's about getting to know the stories behind these musicians and artists, and also giving them a platform. And for Suzanne, I think for her, she's kind of just still kind of trying. She's even trying to figure out her sound, the way she writes, and we want to be in for that. So thank you again for joining us. I really appreciate it. I want to talk about original music. I've seen you perform a lot of covers, and you know, obviously, you go around doing these amazing covers and all, but I'm interested to know Suzan Sadek. Like, what does she write about? What inspires you? What's your songwriting process? The fact that you songwrite, for me, is amazing, because songwriting on its own is a technique, like, it's a talent. So tell me about your songwriting process, and do you have any original songs written? Okay.
Yeah. So I think I started writing songs when I was 17, 18.
Okay.
I performed my first song when I was 18. Trash song. I mean, I don't know, actually. I think it's trash, but like, everyone listens to it and they're like, I love it, like, I resonate with it.
And you know, fam, I gotta say, like, if you hear Ed Sheeran speak about himself, he'll tell you the same thing. Like, you know, and you know, so I think it's humbling you say that, but I would say many people that hear you get gravitated to. Now, does that mean that there's no room for improvement? Of course you're going to be improving. Of course you evolve. So, but I'm interested to know what attracts you to songwriting. Like, what kind of topics you write about?
So, like I said, like, for me, music is about expression. And then at one point, the covers didn't do justice. Like, I needed to express, I needed to write. And I journal a lot. So I was like, let me write. I wrote poems for a while, and I was like, I'm not a poet. They don't work. So I started writing songs. In the beginning, all my songs were about, like, mental health.
Okay.
And a lot of everything about, like, life experience, about, like, family, culture, but, like, very ambiguous. And then towards now, I'm more writing, like, I'm trying to expand what I'm writing about.
Nice.
I wrote a couple songs about love. I don't really, like, my first 2 songs I hope will release this year, and they're both about love, which is very interesting to me, because those are my only 2 songs that I wrote about love.
Okay. So let me get that right. You've written more than 2 records, like 2 original?
Yeah. Not that I'm gonna release them. It's just that they're in my folder on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think also not everything has to be shared with the public, because I think a lot of them, me writing them and knowing that no one will hear them, like, helps me write more, like, rawly, I think.
It's like you're exercising yourself in a way. Like, you're which
it's
is
like,
amazing.
I need to write this to hear it for myself, and then. But my biggest issue right now is that, like, I'd write a song that, like, for example, the song I'm gonna sing today. I wrote it and I was like, oh, it's perfect, I love it. And then, like, 2 months later, I, like, got over the feeling that I was feeling when I wrote it, and now I'm like, ugh, it's so, like, last season. Like, I hate it now.
I gotta say something about that.
Yeah.
So there's 2 things here. There's being a perfectionist, and there's also procrastinate. There's these 2.
Yeah.
So when you're just thinking everything is gotta be a certain way, That's cool. Believe me, if I've seen you 15 years ago, for me, if I've seen you then, I would have said, yeah, take your time, and yeah, it doesn't matter. It's just about you releasing things to the world, and like you beautifully said, there's some things you don't have to release. You just kind of write it for your own, you know.
Yeah.
And but I think when you release it, you really the feedback generated from people kind of will fuel you,
Yeah.
and will But that's why I always say it takes a lot of guts to release records. It takes a lot of guts to be on stage, and so we take it for granted. But seriously, it's so I would say, go for it. There's nothing that's gonna be perfect.
Yeah.
I'm
That's
telling
what
you
I'm
from
trying.
now.
I used to say that like singing is a really vulnerable performance because it's like you're using the instrument of your body.
Wow.
And then I used to say then it's extra vulnerability when it's your own lyrics. So everything is you. Like you're just like exposed, you know, everything. So I used to say like, oh, that's the most vulnerable I can ever be is like performing an original on stage. But, you know, I'm grateful for the good audiences.
And
for
fam,
the
that's amazing. We need to
motivation.
hear it because okay, you
Yeah.
can do all covers that you want, but that's not Suzanne.
Yeah.
You can take the rendition and make it in your
Exactly.
own way all
Yeah.
day, but that's still not Suzanne, right?
Yeah.
We want to hear you, and you said some amazing topics right here. Very important. Mental health is a really important topic, specifically in our region, because it's such a stigmatized, or there's a taboo around it, or it's don't talk about it. Well, you know, it's something that we need to talk about.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
I think with the way that you do music, also giving with the age group and people who would like you and follow you, very important to them to know that you are singing about that as well,
Yeah.
because it's relatable. Okay, do you have a name for this record?
Yeah. It's called Layla Majnoon.
Layla Majnoon?
Yeah, do you know the story?
Wow, yeah.
It's
Well, you shocked me with this one because like,
it's
oh
an
my God.
It's an English like song though, but it's my favorite based on my favorite book. Yeah, I'm really excited about
So I
it.
swear to God, you gave me goosebumps.
Really?
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
Why?
Because I'm going to be vulnerable with you right here. Because I've been very vocal about Arab artists representing their culture, right? So that's one. Now, whether you sing, like if you sing in Arabic, straightforward, that's okay, great.
Yeah.
If you sing in English, it gets tougher for you to represent.
It's true. Yeah.
And this is where I go like, okay, give me a little bit of melody, use instruments that are us,
Yeah.
stories about us, culturally about us, so that whoever listens to you, what's her background? Where is she from? You know what I mean? We
There's
gotta
a-
be proud of it,
Yeah, for
even
sure.
if it's a tiny bit.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, well, you shocked me with that one.
Oh, I'm
It's
glad.
called that?
Yeah, it's it is hard to like sprinkle a little of your
Sprinkle, that's the
you
word.
know, because also like I'm fighting to represent, but I just all my writing and all my experience, unfortunately, even vocally, like I'm used to singing like English.
And that's cool. Never pressure yourself. It's cool.
but I'm like now trying to expand.
Yeah. We'll see. Maybe you can sing a song in Arabic later. No. But okay, so the record is called?
Layla Majnoon.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is your original, obviously music. Very important moment right here for us as Catch a Vibe and Pulse 95 Radio. And for me personally, I love it. And this is, you're showing a lot of growth, Suzanne, a lot of vulnerability in this moment. So you need to be proud of yourself. Be you. I can't wait to hear this. This is incredible. We'll talk about when is it going to be released later. But right now, sing along right here. Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio. Suzan Sadek, take it away.
Okay. I imagine what it would be like to meet you. Are you counting the days? Are you thinking of the ways? Are you waiting for me to? Will our gazes meet and we'll know that it's all true? The love they write, the world's desires will be ours too. I've heard the stories, watched the dramas, felt the pain. Might be naive to think that it won't be the same. No, we'll be dancing on rooftops, watching the world stop. I'll memorize your voice and how no one will ever going?
Oh, yeah.
I imagine what life would look like with you. Breathless laughs, souls attached, and the painting we both drew. All our past frustrations will be chaos we outgrew. And you hold my hand, you help me stand, and I'll do the same for you. I've seen the arguments and how life gets in the way. Is it naive to think that it won't be our fate? No, we'll be dancing rooftops, watching the world stop. I'll memorize your voice and how no one will ever know it like I do. You ever think of if this life will ever let us find each other, or will we fall through and end up being Layla and Majnun? I wanna dance and not stop. Trust the fate written for us. Hope we won't be Layla and Majnun. Hope we won't be Layla and Majnun.
What? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking at the camera right now. What? That was beautiful.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Layla wa Majnoon.
Yeah.
Wow. I want to take a break because I want to just like really, Allah yahmiki, amazing. I'm proud of you. I think this was really, really nice.
Thank you so much.
I can't wait to talk to you more about it off air, but this was beautiful. I got to ask you before we go for an amazing record by Omale. I'm not sure if you know Omale, but he's an amazing Nigerian singer. When is this going to see the streaming world?
Hopefully fall of this year.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Hopefully. If
You're
everything
nervous?
works out.
Nervous?
Yeah, I'm excited actually.
Is like the song recorded or
Yeah,
like?
there's
Okay.
a music video, everything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to take a break, ladies and gentlemen. This is Catch a Vibe with me, Big Haas, on Pulse 95 Radio. Let's hear a little bit of Omale with his amazing record, really representing Nigeria and representing Africa. So keep it locked. We're going to be back with Suzan Sadek in a bit.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
And we're back with Catch a Vibe, our 6th episode. Man, oh man. And I hope we reach 600 episodes. I don't know, like 6,000.
Yeah,
God bless. We are with singer, songwriter, human being from Egypt, Masr Dunya, as always. Of course, based in the UAE, Suzan Sadek. Suzanne, when did you come to the UAE? Born and raised?
Born and raised.
Born and raised.
Corniche Hospital.
Yeah, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
Amazing. Shout out to Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, shout out.
So in this case, what does Abu Dhabi mean to you? Like, obviously you're from Egypt, but like it's home,
Yeah.
obviously. But I'm sure it's a special place in your heart.
Mm-hmm.
So what does it mean to you?
I thought about this a lot because like the idea of home and like, you know,
Third culture kids.
third culture kids, yeah. I've visited Egypt like 4 times total
In your life.
in my 22 years.
And what do you think about it? Because I like their chaos. Sarah.
No. The second I'm there, I'm like, these are my people. This is my ground. Like, I never feel more like, haha, this is mine. I get it now.
Yeah.
But Abu Dhabi, I think, will always like be my home as well. I think the last time I visited, I was always like, oh no, Egypt's my home. No, Abu Dhabi's my home. I think they really both are. Like, at the end of the day, like, I know Abu Dhabi, like I remember Action Zone. I'd walk around and be like, oh my god, this was the street that like
Yeah.
I used to sit and see whatever.
And you've seen it evolve in your own
So
time
much.
as well.
Yeah.
And I want to say like this, you embody the third culture and really like element right here. You're Egyptian, you're born and raised here. You sing in English, so you might be inspired by the West.
Yeah.
It's like and that's why I wanna say to everyone listening right now, I think it's not about taking it easy on generations like this, but about understanding what they have to go through to even understand their own culture.
Yeah.
So it's
It
tough.
is, yeah. And a lot of like, even when I would meet like Egyptians or whatever, and I say like I remember I say bless you or something, or I say a word, and everyone's like, that is not Egyptian. And I mean like, why? Like for example, ما تتكسفش,
أيوة.
right?
Don't
And
be
I بقول
shy or something like that. Yeah.
بستحي. And then they're all like, Fin, مين بستحي دي? Like
أيوة,
that's not
أيوة.
an Egyptian term. And I'm like, then what is an Egyptian term? And then they correct me, and I'm like, I didn't know that. So even my Arabic is so like
It's
diverse.
mixed. Yeah.
Actually, when I went to Morocco, I said something, and they were like, "You're like part Khaliji," and I was like, "No." And they're like, "You said Khaliji, not Khaligi." And I like,
Oh wow, yeah, with
you're
the
so
the
right.
GC Khaliji means like the GCs. Oh my god.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
yeah, it gets confusing. It's tricky.
yeah. It's when
tricky.
people pointed out that it's a little bit humbling because
Yeah.
you're like, "Oh, I didn't know that," but yeah, now I know.
That's funny. I want to make you hear a record.
Yes.
I'm sure you're familiar with that record.
Oh yeah. The night has come in the land.
So this is. Tell me about this. Obviously, it is done for Al Ain. Or like Abu Dhabi,
Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Yeah. And amazing, really special, of course, thanks to Visit Abu Dhabi.
Yeah.
It's like amazing voices in this. Oh my God.
Incredible, Arqam. Yeah, he's my favorite. I stalk him sometimes.
Shout out to him.
Yeah.
Tell me
shout
about
out.
this project and how did you get involved?
So I honestly just got a call that I was requested to be a part, like in a collaboration with the band.
Nice.
And I was super excited. They were like, it's full day of recording, full day of shooting. It was the coldest day of the year. And
Oh, wow.
it was in Al Ain. I don't know. They were like, oh, beautiful. Wind is flowing, skirts. How did you think the wind is flowing, guys? It was so cold.
Oh, okay.
Literally between takes, I was like shaking. I was like, give me a jacket.
Oh, man.
But it was such a beautiful experience. Really enjoyed it. I love the support. Also, I'm getting a lot of support now from like all around the world because they're
Yeah.
such a diverse band, which I
Correct.
think is perfect for Abu Dhabi. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think getting a collaboration with such a worldwide.
Obviously, choosing the song "Stand by Me" is such a great record as well.
Yeah.
You know, did you guys have
It
something
was-
to say with that?
It was
or?
their choice
Okay, okay.
actually, but like the second we heard it, we were like, oh great, perfect
That,
song.
that's Dunya right here.
That's Dunya, yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, both of you are like.
Yeah.
Oh.
The harmonies.
Yeah.
I just have like little. They called it dangles, where I'd be like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
just the.
See? That was
This
amazing.
Maya, she's 17 years old.
Shout out to Maya. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful voice, beautiful. I told my mom about her.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, what does it mean that you're like involved in these, like, you know, this is obviously an amazing collaboration, you know, highlighting, you know, our country, highlighting, you know,
Yeah.
the beautiful things that we have, of course, right here, the nature, and to sing that song especially. How did you feel after finishing the whole like project and khalas, it's done and it's out to the world?
Honestly, it was very like interesting because I don't think people know that there's like between taking and then it releasing, there's like time
Correct.
where you just like the excitement dies down a little bit because you forget about it. Same thing with my songs that are coming out. I'm like, oh, khalas, I did the music video. I was so excited. Now I'm like kind of over it. But then when it comes out, I'll like get excited again. And I think the support that I got, like that after that song was like the second time I ever got recognized in the streets of Abu Dhabi.
Wow.
Where they're just, the first time was at the gym where they were like, are you? And I was like, no. They're like, do you sing? I was like, no, I just want to work out, please. But yeah, they were like, but did you do a video of Music Travel Love? And I was like, you recognized me? It was so, you know, my head got really big for a minute.
It's a big deal. You know, it's a big deal to be recognized for something you've done, especially in music, you know, and all that. On the contrary, so inshallah, hopefully you also be recognized for your original, you know, like you know, your music that you do. But so far, was there any specific feedback that you got from this, the Music Travel Love, Stand By Me, like kind of video that impacted your did because a lot of people got to know you for the first time.
Yeah.
Was there one feedback that kind of stuck more to your mind? something that you got from, from a stranger? Like, what sort of feedback did you get?
I think I got a lot of like, we love your voice, love from this country, or love from the Philippines, or love from yeah, I got like a love from many different countries. And I think a few of them stuck with me. They were like, thank you for representing in Al Ain, because we're representing Abu Dhabi, but also because we're representing Arabs,
Of course.
not all Arabs, it's a lot of pressure, but just like a little bit, and I think that's when I was like, oh my god, thank you. It's really fun.
That's really cool.
It's really like nice to hear that.
And that's amazing. Social media.
Yes. Oh no.
She gave me the no. We're not going
Is
there.
my mom here?
What's your relationship like with social media? Because it's sadly, I say this, become part of an artist's journey right now. You got to document, you got to showcase, at least at a certain stage maybe. But what's your relationship with social media?
I feel like I don't know, I should say toxic. I think it's better now. I think I was on social media too early in my life, I would say. I was like posting like so much, I think, on Snapchat and Instagram and
TikTok.
Oh my god, TikTok. No,
Okay.
TikTok was fun. It was fine. It was like when I was like 20, but they were still embarrassing, but not it's in a different embarrassing, But and I think our parents didn't really understand it when it first came out, so they like were figuring it out with us. And
Facts.
once they figured it out, I think the new generation has it a bit easier. But now I think for a while I used to post everything. Like, I'm an overshare. Like, if you talk to me off camera, I will tell you everything about my life.
Okay.
Now I'm like sitting on it a little because you're like, you have a internet, what is it called, a digital footprint.
Yeah,
but,
you do.
So I used to overshare everything on social media too. Like, they'd know what I ate and what I wore and who I went out with.
Okay.
And now I'm trying to
Specify more to music.
now it's more like, this is my music and I'm trying to keep my private life private.
Yeah, but you see what you just did.
Yeah.
You've evolved.
Yes, I have.
So in front of like our eyes, you obviously people have been following you since there were some people, and right now people follow you, and yeah, you want to focus more on music.
Yeah.
If you want to focus on your, like, you want to become like a traveler or something like that, you
I'll
have.
just do
Yeah, you can, but focus on music, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think it's also like a bit calming for me too.
Amazing.
I have more peace. I'm like, oh, my private is my private, and then
Is it challenging? Like, is it challenging to keep posting about music and like come up with things to post? Do you think about, I didn't post today, what? Or
yeah, I was like, oh, I'll just post something once a week, and then sometimes like someone would be like, dude, it's like one or two a day. I'm like, what? What?
Yeah.
That's so much. Like, I try to avoid my phone, but now it's like, because now I'm like, I don't know if it sounds like narcissistic, but I try. At one point, I would just like open Instagram and post and close.
Okay.
Because the more I scroll, the more it's like,
Yeah, you receive that
I
energy that
receive
you
the
don't want.
energy.
Yeah, perfect.
Now it's depending on, like, sometimes I have a week I'm like, I can't. And then now, for example, today I'm like, fine. Because also there's a lot of my friends there, so I'll like support them.
Correct.
But then if I like just post for a week, but I don't see anyone's post, it's just because I like can't do that week. But yeah, it's interesting. It's like a job, but it's also like your art.
Yeah.
It's like you're marketing yourself.
100%.
But it's also like you could slip and then it would be toxic again.
Suzanne, I think you figured it out.
No, I'm still figuring it out.
No, I mean, so far from what I'm hearing, you got to figure it out. Sometimes artists take 20 years to figure what you just said right now out.
Well, I am 22, so.
I know, but they're 42 and they realize it right now.
I mean, they like, we all got the internet at the same time.
Correct.
So I think that's why
Yeah,
we're all like figuring it out at different stages.
100%.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break and then we'll be back with Suzan Sadek, hopefully performing your other original, right? Other original. So we're gonna, definitely prepare for that.
Yes.
We're gonna be right back. I'm playing a record that is really cool. I actually want to make Suzanne hear this record. It's by a Jordanian artist called Lunar. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but an amazing artist.
I'm gonna make a playlist out of these songs.
Oh yeah. I'll definitely send it to you. Lunar has a record called Rocket Ship. Just dropped on Spotify about 10 days ago. It just crossed 1 million streams, which is amazing. The video is doing well. Actually, somebody from NASA saw it as well. It's a beautiful, beautiful record about a relationship. And let's hear it. Lunar with Rocket Ship right here on Catch a Vibe on Pulse 95 Radio. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with Suzan Sadek.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse Pulse 95.
We are back on Catch a Vibe right here on Pulse 95 Radio. It's our last segment right now. We are with singer-songwriter Suzan Sadek. She is Egyptian. She's been, of course, born and raised in the UAE, Abu Dhabi, the capital. We've had an amazing discussion so far. We've heard one original song. We've spoken about many things, really. And Suzanne, again, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully you're having a good time.
I'm having a great time.
Amazing. Suzanne, I want to talk to you about live performances.
Yeah.
What goes on, like, how do you prepare for like a set? Like, let's say you have a 30-minute set you're performing. What goes in preparation? Like, it's gig day. Take me through the show day.
Okay, it's gig day. I do like my regular routine of whatever, shower, gym, and then figure out what to wear.
Okay.
I feel like, yeah, that's one of the hardest things. I don't even know why. I think also because you're just like, yeah, you just figure out what to wear, and then I would check my set lists on my computer. I have like 150 songs downloaded.
That's what I talk about. So out of that, how do you choose what's good for the specific event that you're doing?
So here's the thing, a lot of my events, I don't know what I'm going into.
Okay.
I go in blindly, and I think so what I do is I'll have for the event, I'll have 4 set songs, and then, or I'll have 10 or whatever, and then I'll leave room to experiment, and that's the thinking on your feet. I remember I did a gig, Comic-Con,
yeah.
and I didn't know that the stage was huge. I didn't know that there was cameras and whatever. So I was just and I had some mellow songs. And then I get there and I'm like, I have to change my whole set list. And I talked to the person that signed me the book, and I was like, I have to change. I know because sometimes we have to pre-accept the set list.
Of course.
I was like, I have to change it, and she was like, okay, just change a few. I changed the whole thing, but I got away with it. But yeah, it's a lot of thinking on your feet, and just if someone requests a song, you also have to be prepared to just Bismillah and do it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Sometimes I learn a song by performing it. Halfway through, I'm like, I wonder if this is how it goes.
But you have, Suzanne, if I may say, I mean, Towers, you've been listening to this, obviously interview you guys in the cars or wherever you're watching. And you notice that she has a very sweet personality, mashallah. Personality قريبة للقلب, which is very close to the heart, and you get to like the human Suzanne, and then you hear your voice, you go wow, and and you start becoming a fan slowly, and that's what happened to me. And many of the people, when they hear you sing, they see that you're I know you just started, but you have a very humbling way of presenting yourself, and that is really something that you should definitely be proud of. Shout out to your parents, of course, for raising you really well.
Thank you.
Okay, so I want to hear off air. We were talking about some covers, and and that's a big discussion. Hopefully, we can have a discussion later on with that. But I asked you to do a cover, and you chose Britney Spears.
Yeah, it's a rendition of Britney Spears.
A rendition for Britney Spears.
Yeah.
Can we hear a little bit of it?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. So let's hear a little bit of, obviously, Toxic, but this is by Suzan Sadek.
Too high, can't come down. It's in my head and around and round. Can you feel me now?
Yeah, see, when you choose a cover, Suzanne, what goes on? How do you choose? What attracts you, in a song, for you to cover it?
Before I would perform live, it's something that I can find a style in.
Okay.
So a lot of the old Adele songs, I think because I've been singing them for so long, I just don't even know how I sing it anymore.
Yeah.
But with the new, when I pick a new song, I'd sing it in my head. I'm can I find my expression through this, or is it just will I just mimic? Because a lot of very nice songs, I'm just oh, it doesn't suit my voice, and everyone's how or why, and I'm because it just I just can't find me in the song. And that's nothing against the song. It's just that.
Of course.
Maybe it's my limit. I don't know.
No, I mean, 100%. I like the fact that you said that just now. But also, do you have, I've seen you sometimes go really high.
Yeah.
And you have that mix, right?
Yeah.
You can go really high. You can go really with the harmonies and all. Mm-hmm. That is tough. Not a lot of people can do both. No.
Yeah. Thank you.
No, seriously.
Sorry, I was just going yeah, sure. No, thanks. I mean, I grew up like singing a lot. I belted a lot, used chest voice a lot.
Okay.
And then as I grew, I was like, oh, I don't know anything about like what's going on up here, like head voice and mixed voice. And recently I've been working on that. And then I took a few vocal classes as well. And then there's YouTube. Guys, YouTube, best friend.
Yeah, YouTube. I think
really.
YouTube should give these artists like some sort of a diploma or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too. Shout out to them, truly. And then, yeah, it's just, I think also when you, and I love singing covers, but sometimes you have no audience, like especially when you're doing like busking.
Yeah.
So people just pass by and I'm like, oh, well, when am I going to be just singing on a mic? So then I just like experiment. And then a lot of times I'll enjoy my experiments.
Nice.
I'll be like, ooh, like sometimes I'll like make a very strong song like airy. And sometimes I'll make a very airy song strong just for the fun of it.
But it's fun.
It's so fun.
It's fun. I mean, you're taking something at this point that could be seen as negative or not cool. There's maybe not a lot of people around, but you're like putting it on yourself.
Yeah, it's practice.
Amazing. Okay, so we've heard the one original, which is
Yes.
was it
Laylo
Majnoon?
Yes.
I'm always the Majnoon Layla, but Laylo Majnoon. And what's the second record? I think I'm about to get shocked again.
This is I'm not sure I'm going to release this actually.
Okay.
This is the second wrong. Remember the song? I mentioned
Ah,
it. This
that's
is
the
a
one that-
citation. Yes.
Khalas.
The one that I was like, oh, I hate it. But every time I sing it, and I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to sing it.
You fall in love with it again.
I don't actually. I just go like, oh, this is the last time I'm going to sing it. And then someone texts me and they're like, I love that song so much. Like, I need to hear it again.
Impact.
And then I sing it again. And then I'm like, khalas, this is the last time I sing it. And then someone else, and it's just always.
Well, I'm about to hear it, so I'll tell you.
Okay, you
straight
let
up.
me know. If you're like trash, I'm like, okay, fine. But yeah, I wrote it when
I'm
I
not
was
gonna
really
say trash,
young.
but for me, I'll hear it and I'll tell you if it impacts me.
Yeah.
Like that's the first one impacted me.
Okay.
With from the name to how you sang it to the story, I related the two kind of stories together, and it put a
I'm
nice.
so glad you know the story. I have to.
Oh yeah,
explain
yeah,
it to
yeah.
everyone.
I mean, you know, as an Arab, you know the story, and
Yeah.
you go like done. This one, what's it called?
It's called The Illusion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The Illusion.
It's about mental health a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See when you talk about a record,
Yeah.
and you start singing it and performing it, you know. So right now I'm expecting like that. I'm in that realm.
Okay.
Illusion. Okay, Suzan Sadek. It's her own original music. Again, I gotta say that none of the songs so far has been released. Hopefully, you guys comment on the video if you're watching this. Say release, release, release. Suzanne, release, release, release.
I'm easily convinced.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
easily convinced. Okay, take it away right now.
A new day, it's a new ordeal. Another series of smiles and held back tears. Hands are shaking, do they know how I feel? Do they see my joy, do they think it's real? So welcome to me, it's really nice to meet you. Take a map and buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's a sight to see, it's dangerous, I'll warn you. Don't slow down, don't get distracted, don't get lost and you'll be fine. Don't you get it yet? I'm trying to tell you, you'll be looking at a tour of the attraction called my mind. We've got twists and we've got turns, I wouldn't wanna be a cause. Once it starts, you'll ask me, will I make it out alive? Do they know about my self-esteem? Do they think I'm good enough? Do you think I'm good enough? Is it anxiety? Am I reading into things? Can they tell that I'm struggling to breathe? So welcome to me, it's really nice to meet you. Take a map and buckle up, it's gonna be a bumpy ride. It's a sight to see, it's dangerous, I'll warn you. Don't slow down, don't get distracted, don't get lost and you'll be fine. Don't you get it yet? I've been trying to tell you. Yeah, you're looking at a tour of the attraction called my mind. We've got twists and we've got turns, I wouldn't wanna be a. Please stop asking me, I don't know if you'll make it out alive. Thanks for coming. It was really nice to meet you. Thanks for boarding on the ride of the illusion called my mind. Sorry for the inconvenience. So if I hurt you, I apologize again, 'cause no one made it out alive. No one made it out alive. I'm the last one left to die.
Wow. Man.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see a star. I'm telling you. We're going to see a star for many reasons. Okay, you ready to hear this feedback?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you feedback right now.
Oh, I'm scared.
No. I really love the way you wrote this record.
Thank you.
Shows vulnerability. It shows as well that when you especially when you say it's a I don't know if you see it, but I saw hope there, right? In a way, right? I don't know, you're talking about something very difficult, but I saw also hope there with the whole buckle up is going to be a bumpy ride. You're acknowledging it's going to be a difficult ride, right? And your first thing about that is acknowledging. No, I really like this record a lot.
Thank you.
Was it hard to write?
I think I just wrote it through tears, really.
Okay.
It was one of those things where you just sit and you write it, and then I never looked back on it.
And records like that, Suzanne, are very important.
Yeah.
Like records like, whether, I'm sure if you talk to any of your inspirations, whether it's Adele, whether it's whoever, they will tell you that there's a records that not released.
Yeah.
Don't be pressured to release this, by the way. I'm seriously talking. Some records that you do it for yourself, like you said earlier, and I think, and maybe one time you feel the space and the vibe is suitable for you to perform that in a live setting where you can get to tell that story of that record, and people would resonate with that story. What you just said right now, people will resonate to that.
Yeah.
So you have, mashallah alayki, it's hard not to become a fan of Suzan Sadek. I'm just really, I'm serious. You know this record.
Ah, yes.
What does it mean to you, like this record? Why do you like this record for Adele?
I just, it's so heartbreaking, but so like expressive. Like, it's one of those songs that you just want to, like, it's like a cry. Like you're singing like you're crying. And I think it's just so fun to like just let go.
If by some miracle, Adele stumbles on this right now. Like,
yes.
Just right now. Look at this camera. What do you
Hi,
tell?
Adele. I love you. I've been singing you since I was 10. Would you like to sing with me, please?
Wow.
Wrong, no, please. I'll cry.
But see, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is how we'll obviously, end today's Catch a Vibe. Very, very cool personality, sweet personality. From Egypt. Shout out to your family, by the way. I want to ask, what's the family thinking about all of this when you get into this? Like, what are their thoughts?
I think it's very interesting. They're like as supportive as they can be without like, worrying.
Okay.
Because like it's a risky business and like path. So they're like, even my mom should see my like me writing or something, or she'd be like, wow, I didn't know you're this good of a writer. But not in these songs, and when I actually free write. And my dad also, he'll come to every gig, but then he'd be like,
does he come to all the gigs or the majority of them?
Sometimes I don't tell him, because he will just come for 3 hours straight.
Bless.
And I know, and I'm just like, Baba, you can't haram, it's 3 hours, and sometimes it's in a tunnel and there's no AC.
Oh, God bless.
He's very sweet.
The one I saw was he was in the tunnel right there.
For like but then at the same time they'd be like, okay, but they support me. Like I also work on other things.
Okay.
I'm gonna go do my master's soon. So,
Amazing.
Yeah, so like they're
can
supporting
we
me.
ask what in Masters in
Design
what?
and technology.
Design and technology.
Yeah, it's like
Okay.
I want to do the tech because I'm a bit problem solving and I'm a bit technical, but then
Okay.
I also I love art. So like that was my favorite
Yallah.
intersection. It's like art and technology.
Wallahi, listen, we're wishing you all the best right here from
Thank
Pulse
you.
95 and Catch a Vibe. We want to hear this records on the rotation on the radio.
Inshallah.
So like whenever they're ready, please send them through.
You're gonna be the first person I send
Please,
it to. Yeah.
please, yeah, definitely. And
you.
any last words you'd like to say to anyone who supported you or showed you love, to your family, to the fans, to the friends? Air is yours. Suzan Sadek, what do you say?
This is gonna be so silly, but when I used to sing in class when I was like 12 or 10 or 11, and I think I sound really bad, all the girls in class would support me and
Oh,
be
wow.
like, "You sound so beautiful," and just like bullying is a thing, and I wasn't bullied because of that, and I think I wouldn't have been here if I wasn't so supported so much by everyone I know growing up. And I just really, really appreciate that. And if anyone's young, if anyone's sees someone, because putting yourself out there isn't easy. So when it's met with support, it makes that much of a difference.
Wow.
And it helps a life, truly.
Drop the mic moment. What you said. You know what? I gotta say this. So I've met you about 7-8 months ago or something like that when Mother of the Nation happened, and then I became really a fan, and then today I really khalas. I want to seriously. I really want to help you as well in this music thing, because it's amazing to see the way you think. And this is why exactly I did Catch a Vibe, to know how artists think and what was it, and what you just said in the end, beautiful. Because usually artists come into a place and they perform and then they leave, and you don't know what they're thinking, what do they do, facing with challenges. Thank you so much for your time.
And thank you for making this space and for supporting artists like me. It's
Bless
really,
you.
really beautiful and fun to
Amazing.
be here.
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget the name, Suzan Sadek, right here. An amazing artist, singer-songwriter. We've heard a couple of her originals today. We've heard somehow her story, but I can tell you that her story will evolve. Her story will have more challenges. Her story she will be faced with even more difficulties down the line. And this is not to put you down, Suzanne. This is just to let you know that this is part of it. It's all part of it. But I tell you what, you got the tools to fight. That's all I
Thank you
can
so
say.
much.
That's
Thank
all I can
you.
say. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We love you. We salute you as always. We'll see you. Wait, I gotta get you on camera. Do that again.
Watch Pulse 95. You won't regret it.
And that's coming up. Love to you, and we'll see you guys obviously tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. We'll see you guys tomorrow in tomorrow's episode. Yeah, you know how it is. Leaving you with feel like I play Never Let You Go by Jason Derulo and Shaus. Peace and love. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Salam.